Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Eliza, and in today's video I'm going to talk about my updated Ravelry queue. It is June. It's not summer technically, but it will be summer in about 6 days. So I went through my Ravelry queue and I deleted a lot of stuff that I did not make and I'm just kind of over. I moved it to my favorites, so most of it is still like in my Ravelry realm, but I did update my queue based on things that I hope to make this summer, as well as things that like look like okay. So aside from being really interested in knitting and crafts and all that good stuff that everyone on this channel knows that I like, and I'm also really interested in fashion and thrifting. I work in fashion, so I'm constantly like looking at current fashion, and I have like a mental list of designers that I like to look for when I'm thrifting, or I just like to look at their stuff online because I think it's so inspiring, and look at old books. So I was thinking about my love of like what I want to buy and what inspires me, and then my love of knitting, and I kind of want to try to combine them because I've talked about this in previous videos, but I'm definitely having trouble knitting things that I actually want to wear, like as much as I want to wear my other clothes. Things like this, a white cable knit sweater. Like, I could totally make this, but it's not as fun to knit with just white yarn. And this probably would not be that fun to knit because it's literally covered in cables. It would take me so long. But that's not really the point. My future goals in knitting, my goals for this summer and going forward, is to really try to be realistic with what I'm knitting for myself. I think it's okay to still be like quirky with my yarn choices and whatever else when I'm knitting for other people who I think will actually really like what I'm making them. But my problem is I want to use the funky yarn and I want to mix it all together to do like a crazy scrap thing or to do like some amazing color combination, but then I don't end up wearing it. And I don't want to do that anymore. I have my Ravelry queue that's been updated based on like things I want to make this summer. And then I have like some other inspiration that I want to try to make myself from other brands, or from brands. Just like things that I've seen that I know I wouldn't want to buy or I can't buy. Maybe it's like archive fashion. I'll just show a couple examples because they're kind of like in my brain and like they come up every once in a while and I should really write them down, but I do have a couple examples to show. But let's go through my Ravelry queue first. It's kind of in order based on like when I want to knit things, but it's also kind of not in order. And I did keep a couple things on from my like holiday, winter, you know, the last Ravelry queue that I showed, which I think was in like winter time. I'm just gonna start with number one. Number one pattern is the orange trousers by Lipul. I have mentioned wanting to make these before, and I actually bought the lime skirt pattern last summer when I was in Massachusetts, and I started casting on. I think I knit like 2 rows and then I stopped, and I think that was because the yarn that I had with me was pink and I didn't really want to commit to making a pink open work skirt like that, so I just didn't. And there were like no yarn stores near me, and I was also not wanting to buy yarn, so I just had a lot of other things going on that made me not want to make that pattern. So my plan for the orange trousers is to knit them in black, and I was looking on the Wool & Company, is that what it's called? Yeah, the Wool & Company website, because they have tons of yarns, and sometimes I'll just go through and like find yarns for projects and add them to my cart. And I found like a Rowan mercerized cotton yarn that I thought could be good for this, but realistically I'm probably not going to order from Wool & Company because I feel like I never actually do. I just like pick out what I want and then I go try to find it at a store. Not because I don't want to order from Wool & Company, but I don't know. I just haven't yet. But they have a lot of really cool yarns. They have so much hedgehog fibers yarn on Wool & Company. I think that's how I initially found that website, because I was searching for Hedgehog Fibers stockists. Anyway, one time I saw this picture of Eva Chen, and I'll put it in if I can find the picture, but it's probably like from years ago now. She was wearing like either an open work pair of trousers or a skirt, kind of like this. I think the holes were bigger, and she had a huge like black sweater over, you know, on top. So she had the huge black sweater on top and the open work bottom, but the sweater was long enough that it covered like her butt and like the top of her legs pretty much. And I just loved the styling of that picture. I liked that it was like a more realistic way to wear open work pants or skirt, because I feel like I would only wear these like to the beach or in a beach setting, or maybe like if I was going out and I wanted to feel sexy, I would wear them with like matching underwear, you know, like underwear that matched whatever color I knit the pants or skirt in. I do like the idea of making like a huge sweater that I can then wear with the pants. So my plan for the orange trousers are to make them in black cotton. I am excited to make those pants now that I have this like vision for how I could style the pants. And then for the giant sweater to go on top, this pattern was in my holiday queue. And I kept it in here because of this idea and because I think it's so cute. This is the Wave Sweater by Spectacle Strick. I definitely like how it looks in the image that they use on the pattern page, because it looks really big. It looks really big. Oh my god, my voice is... I like the way that oh my gosh, I'm only on number 2 in my queue and I'm already having trouble speaking. I like the way the sweater looks in the picture that's on the pattern page, because it looks kind of big and oversized. But I think I would want to make mine even more oversized to get that look that I desire with the like large sweater over open work bottom. And of course I could wear this with like many other things too. I am planning on making this with black as the ground color, white as the squiggles. Realistic knitting means boring color combinations. But I do want to do the fuzzy in the wave. I've seen a lot of people doing it like that. I think that's how it's done in the actual pattern. The wave is fuzzy. I also like the idea of making the whole sweater fuzzy, but it really depends on what I can find, because I think I would either size up needles, or I would size up yarn, or maybe I'll size up both. But I'm gonna have to mess around a little bit, because even the extra large body length isn't quite as long as I would want it to be. Let me see what it is, 67 centimeters. So that's only about 26 inches, and I think I would want like 28 to fully cover my butt. I'll have to figure that out when I start knitting it. It calls for Aran weight yarn, so I had been looking up yarns on Wool & Company, and they have, what is it, Cascade? Cascade makes an Aran weight yarn, and I know they also make a worsted weight yarn, and Cascade is like a good budget-friendly yarn. I think their skeins are usually like $8, maybe a little more, maybe like 8 to 12, but still like pretty reasonably priced. And I would need a lot to make this sweater. So the extra large on the pattern page calls for 2,700 plus yards of yarn. So I'm looking at quite a few balls. That is total, so it's the black and the white. I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure this out later, but that's my plan. Black ground, white wave with some fluff. And then possible styling opportunity over the orange trousers, which I'm knitting in black. Number 3. Number 3 is the Prima pullover off shoulder by Tamara Jordan, published in Starcross Knits. I think I've seen this person on Instagram, and not this pattern specifically, but one of the other ones I'm going to mention, and I just thought it was so cute. So I was really excited when I found their Ravelry page. This one is not necessarily like a summer knit. It's just something I found that I thought was really cute, and since I live in Northern California, where it's not like super hot all the time, it's actually usually like in the 60s, and sometimes there's wind. So I can kind of wear a sweater year-round here. So I like this, and I feel like it could stick in my summer Ravelry queue. I also think that I would wear this because I have thought about purchasing sweaters like this before. The only thing I question, and I haven't read the pattern or any of the details, but with sweaters like this, sweater patterns like this, I always question like the integrity of that portion on your shoulders. Like, I would want it to be a little bit snug, you know? We'll see if I actually do this. I have also been tempted recently to get elastic thread and knit with elastic to make something more stretchy. Because I know they make it in black and white, so like if I was gonna knit this in black yarn and hold it with elastic thread, that could be cool, right? And then I'd get a little bit better retention. Just thinking out loud. But this calls for worsted weight yarn. I don't know what color I would knit this in yet. If I was gonna do the elastic thread thing, maybe black or white, because I don't know if they make it in colors. Like maybe I could get white and I could dye it a color to match whatever yarn I wanted to knit with, but probably black or white. Maybe gray would be cute too. Yeah, we're getting really exciting with the color combinations now that I'm being more realistic about things. There's a pretty purple one. Oh, and I like the styling of this image here with the purple, and I like how big her fold is for her top. That one's cute. I like the purple one a lot, actually. Maybe I'll make a purple one. That could fit with my neutral wardrobe. Okay, pattern number 4. Same designer. This is the Opilia blouse, and this one I did see on Instagram, and I thought it was so pretty. I was actually really excited when I realized it was a knitting pattern because it's so pretty. This one uses fingering weight yarn, and I have 2 full cakes of black fingering weight yarn. It's sock yarn, so it does have a little stretch in it, which is probably good. There's a little nylon in it. She used US size 2 needles, super tiny. She used Knitting for All of Pure Silk. Oh, and it has a crochet picot border. That's why that looks like it's not knitted, because it's crochet. But oh my gosh, that's like a little intimidating because I'm not great at crochet. And I wonder if you do it last. Like, I wonder if you knit the top and the panels and stuff and then you crochet that on. That's a little intimidating because like, what if I knit the whole top and then I'm at the point where I have to make that crochet border and I just like can't do it? Like, what do I do then? I just keep trying until I can do it, or like just knit on a big rib instead. I am intrigued. I am very intrigued. And that since I have this yarn, I'm tempted to like make this my weekend project because I have some projects on my needles right now. I have some socks on my needles. I've gone back into my 52 weeks of socks book and I'm really excited, but I'm also eager to knit something else. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, number 5. Another pattern by the same designer. This one I also saw on Instagram and I thought it was so pretty. Tied and True cardigan. This one uses lace weight yarn. Needle size is 4 and 7. Okay, a little bit bigger than the last one. I think this top is so pretty. I'm liking the long sleeve version, but I also really like the short sleeve version that's like in the main picture of them, I'm assuming, with the polka dot dress under. So pretty. This one I kind of would want to make like in red maybe, but I also really like the white one in the project page. There's a picture of one of the testers, I guess, wearing it over a white dress that has like pleats on the dress, and it looks really pretty. And I also like that they used ribbon instead of knitting the cords. I think that's a nice touch. It looks so cute layered over dresses. So maybe I would knit this one in red, just to mix it up a little bit, because I really like red as like a pop color. But I would have to buy that yarn because I don't have that much lace weight yarn in one color. Would need 450 to 1,000 plus yards. And I would probably have to knit, I don't know, maybe like a 2? Whatever, I'll figure that out later. Next one, number 6. Okay, this one, I go on eBay a lot and I like search for things that I hope to find on eBay. And sometimes I search for Rick Owens stuff because I really like Rick Owens, but Rick Owens is like a brand that I wish I could wear, but I don't have anything from Rick Owens. I have like some things that are kind of like Rick Owens vibe, but Rick Owens is kind of expensive, even secondhand. And so I'm just waiting to find that perfect piece for the perfect price on eBay. And I was browsing eBay the other day and I found this cream cashmere cropped wrap sweater from 2005, Rick Owens. And of course, it's like a wrap sweater, but it's Rick Owens. I can't even tell what it actually looks like because it's all wrapped up around this mannequin, but the back looks kind of cool. It looks kind of like open in the back. Whatever. I was inspired by this to knit one of the wrap sweaters that I've seen on Ravelry because I've seen many. I saw someone knit this pattern on Instagram and I thought it looked really cute. The ballerina wrap top by 2 of Wands. It comes in long sleeve, so I'd probably knit the long sleeve one. It looks like it has an I-cord. I can't really tell exactly like what is going on because all the pictures are of the wrap sweater closed. But it looks like a really good like simple wrap sweater pattern. I do like that the Rick Owens sweater has a more substantial like wrap. Part of me wonders if the Rick Owens sweater that I'm talking about is not like, you know how wrap sweaters are like kind of like 2 triangular pieces with sleeves and then you like overlap them and then there's like a cord that goes through little holes and stuff like that and then you tie it. So, but part of me wonders if this Rick Owens thing is just like a huge piece of fabric that you wrap around your body because that seems more Rick Owens to me. Maybe I would do something a little bit more Rick Owens inspired with the tie feature of the wrap cardigan, but I don't know yet. We'll see when we get there. This uses DK weight yarn and needle size 6, so that's like a good size for me. I like needle sizes 6 to 8. I feel like those projects go like fairly quickly, but they're also like, you know, smaller gauge. It's a great needle sizes for me. And DK weight yarn. You know, if this was old me doing this and I saw that it was DK weight yarn, I would want to use the Hedgehog Fibers DK weight because they have the coolest color combinations. But we're being realistic here, so I'll probably use something else in a nice solid color. Maybe cream inspired by this Rick Owens top. I do like, just to continue my tangents here, I do love that, I almost said Rick Owens. I do love that Hedgehog Fibers has their crazy like space dyes in 2 colors. Not just, okay, I don't know like what I'm trying to say here. Let me go to Wool & Company. Hedgehog Fibers, they have the most amazing colorways. Often like many colors combined into one. But sometimes they have space dyes that are 2 colors. That's what I was trying to say. So I'm gonna go to the Merino DK because that's the one that I've used before. And I think I've seen like a black and white space dye and like a red. Oh, they have pink and black. I don't think I would do that. I love the way it looks in the hank, but I don't think I would want to wear that. Maybe as socks though. And I know that in the 52 Weeks of Socks book, there are a number of DK weight projects that I have not done yet. I went through my book's table of contents, and I wrote next to each pattern the yarn weight. So I know we have like at least 5 patterns in there that are DK weight, which is exciting to me because those DK weight socks knit up so much faster than sock weight socks. They have this colorway called Poison. It's a limited edition colorway. And it kind of looks like red and burgundy tones, so that could be nice. Actually, I mean, I don't know, like, would a space dye wrap sweater be cool? It might be cool. I really like the Wool & Company website because they have the pictures of all the hanks, but I also miss the pictures of, like, the swatches. Like, I know on the Noro websites they do that. They'll show, like, the ball, and then they'll have, like, a panel of the yarn knitted so you can see, like, how it knits up. So I'm kind of missing that. That would be really helpful for me to visualize what I want to do with this yarn. They have black and orange. Also very cool, but no. They have black and yellow. No. They have black and green, neon green, very cool, but no. They have black and like electric blue. Also no, but I really like that one. Like, I would be tempted if I was not trying to be like so strict with what I'm knitting and what I'm using to knit things. I would be tempted. And like maybe I could still use that somehow. Like in a shawl or like a hat or socks. I'm really into it. The color is called High Voltage, and it's actually a Woolen Company exclusive colorway. There's this one called Typewriter. This would actually be pretty in a wrap sweater because it's primarily white, or whatever the base color is, white cream. It looks like it has flecks of gray and black. I like that. That could work for this. And then they have this one called Magpie, which is like a more extreme, I don't even know if it's space dye or if it's just like kind of like all over, because it looks kind of all over the hank. I don't know what that would be called. That one's pretty too, and that looks like it's just black and white. That might be a little too, I don't know, maybe it would look cool actually. I really have like no idea what these are gonna look like knitted up. Like, they look beautiful in the hanks, but you never know what they're gonna look like. Oh yeah, and then they have this one called Orca. So see, I knew they had these black and white color combinations. So Orca is more black than Magpie. So maybe I would go with Orca. Or maybe I would go with Magpie. I really have no idea. But now I'm getting excited. This is what happens when I go on the Woolen Company website. I look at all this yarn and I want to buy it all. I want to add it to the cart. But the thing about buying yarn online is that then you have to wait for it to come. Whereas if you go to a yarn store, you can have it immediately. Moving on. Position 7 in my queue, Yoko top by Knitting for Olive. This has been on my favorites page for like years. Like, before there was even an English version of this top, I put in my favorites page because I think it said on the pattern like English version coming soon. And I think it's so pretty. It is position 7 on my queue, but I don't know how motivated I am to knit this soon. Because although it is very, very beautiful, I don't really need a lot of tank tops right now. I have a lot of tank tops. So I'm prioritizing some of the short sleeve, long sleeve, other items of clothing. But this one I really love. So like, maybe if I was going on a trip and I was gonna do one project, because realistically, you should probably only bring one project on a trip. I'm so bad about that. When I went to New Mexico and Texas to see the solar eclipse back in April, I brought one project. One project that I was already like halfway done with, and I didn't even finish it. So I'm trying to be extremely realistic with the things that I bring with me when I travel now. And I will be traveling in the next couple weeks, and my goal is to bring one project and just do the one project. Because I am so bad at just sticking to one project. So if I bring 3 projects, I'll work on all 3 projects and I'll never finish anything. Which is what happens here in my home when I have all my yarn. Maybe that would be a good project to bring like on a trip, but it's not a priority right now. Queue position 8, the whole sweater by Deegan. This was also already on my queue and I left it there for the same reason that I talked about the last time I talked about my queue in whatever, January, February, something like that. I kept this on here because I still am really into the idea of making a Yayoi Kusama inspired hole sweater. So it would be white with red holes. That's it. That's the plan for this sweater. It's in DK weight yarn, so we'll figure out the yarn later. Probably not hedgehog fibers because that yarn is too expensive to just knit the solid colors of. I would definitely go for one of my old reliable workhorse yarns, either Cascade or Universal. Right? Those are 2 different brands. Wait, now I'm questioning if Cascade and Universal are different brands or if Universal owns Cascade. And I don't really want to Google it right now, but there is this one Universal yarn that I like that's called Universal Deluxe Worsted. And then there's Cascade yarn that I like that's called like Cascade 220. But maybe Cascade, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. And I can't Google it right now because I'm getting too far off of my queue already. Pattern number 9. This one is another tank top that I will probably not prioritize, but I think it's really cute. And I do like that this one is a little bit looser in the fit. This is the top sole by Mochi Knits. I like that it's looser in the fit, so that feels like a good like summer layering piece. It has the little ties in the front, which feel very relevant right now. It uses DK weight yarn, so I could use one of those hedgehog fibers 2-color yarns. And it looks like a really good like mindless knit because it's all stockinette from what I can see. So maybe that should be higher in the queue. Maybe that should be where the Yoko top is, but I'm not gonna move it. Okay, the next couple I did talk about in my previous Q video. I didn't remove them because I didn't want to lose them from my mind and my, you know, I still want to make them. So I'm just going to go through them real quick. I'm not even going to open them. Number 10, Nomad Jacket by Wool & Beyond. I still think this is really cute. I still think I would knit this in the Isager Aran Tweed because I really like that yarn. And maybe still in the confetti color because, actually I don't know if I said that I was going to knit that in the confetti color last time. It used its worsted weight yarn, and I think I had seen the Isager Aran Tweed yarn like right when I had decided that I wanted to make this pattern. And I kind of wanted to make it out of that yarn, regardless of it not being worsted weight, but I think I could very easily match gauge with Aran weight yarn. The color that I really like is confetti. They also have a black one, so I could do black tweed. But I think I'll do the confetti if I can. It's like gray with light blue, cobalt, red, and I don't know, a bunch of other colors blended in. And I think that would be really pretty. And I would definitely wear a jacket like that. I have not knit a jacket, and I love that this pattern actually looks like a jacket. Like it kind of is copying jacket details. So I really like that. And then number 11 is the Halibut Sweater by Caitlin Hunter, which I've been wanting to knit for a very long time, and I told my boyfriend I would knit him one, so that's why that's on the queue. I already have the yarn that I want to use for that, which is the Ariado by Plymouth yarn in like the indigo color and the denim, the light like blue color. And then number 12, Six of Daisies cardigan, also by Lindsay Deegan. So this is where I'm like unsure of what to do. Should I follow my current plan of like sticking to a color palette and being realistic, or should I knit this the way I had originally wanted to knit it, which was purple, like a lilac tweed with white flowers? I kind of want to do that. I found this yarn at Dharma. It's a Plymouth, I think it's also, no, it's Queensland yarn. It's Kathmandu Aran, and the color that I love is periwinkle. So I thought it would be so pretty to do a periwinkle cardigan with the white flowers. And they also have like the same yarn in a cream color, which I think would be really pretty. That color combination's not even that wild, it's just not in my mental palette of like what I've been buying recently and what I'm trying to knit. But maybe I'll just stick with it because I've been thinking about that color combination for months. Sometimes I get really excited about a pattern and I'll be like, I'm gonna knit this and then I'm gonna wear it to this thing that I have to go to. So I think I saw that yarn in like March and I wanted to get it and knit that sweater so I could wear that sweater on my boyfriend's birthday, which is in May. So it's been on my mind for a while and I didn't do that. I didn't buy the pattern, I didn't buy the yarn. Those balls of yarn are $25 each and I would need 5 for the body. I would have to cash out a little bit to make this sweater. Okay, and then number 13 is the Fortuna's Wheel Pullover by Elspeth Vance. This one I really want to make. It's not really on a priority right now, but I did want to keep it on the queue. I took the pants off the queue because the pants feel more like a novelty item, and I'm already having trouble finishing my projects. I think I would have even more trouble finishing a novelty project. And because, I don't know, I think I could wear them to work. I mean, I could definitely wear them to work, but I don't know if I would want to. I don't know if I would want attention like that at work. So I took them off for now, but I might put them back on. Maybe I'll knit this sweater first and see how it goes. And then if I want to try to do the pants, it would be pretty epic to have the matching set. And this pattern I was thinking would be a good pattern to use the deluxe worsted yarn that I like. It's 100% wool. Those ones are definitely $8 each when I buy them from my local yarn store. I think that would be a good like basic wool yarn for this project in 2 colors, black and white. Position 14 in my queue. Cardigan number 8. This one I think was on my queue before. I actually bought this pattern around the holidays because I wanted to make my boyfriend a cardigan, but I was not confident in the sizing that I could just follow one of the sizes in this pattern to make him a sweater that would fit him. He has like kind of wide shoulders, So I just didn't do it. I wasn't confident enough. I didn't do it. Then at one point I saw a sweater, and I kind of feel like maybe it was a Marnie sweater, but I'm not 100% on that, and I don't have the image. But I saw a sweater, and it was a basic cardigan, mohair, and it was checkerboard, but it was like really small checkers, like just a couple stitches for each one. But the whole sweater was fuzzy checkerboard, and I really liked that. I left this on here thinking that this could be the place for my fuzzy checkerboard sweater, and I could use this pattern for that. I don't know that I would do the pockets. It would be pretty epic to knit the fuzzy checkerboard sweater and then knit the pockets on and have all the checks matching. That's like the only way that I would want to put pockets on, is if I could make sure that they matched the checkerboard pattern on the rest of the sweater. That would be like so impressive. They use size 6 and 9 for this, so I would probably actually get like the Ariado yarn for this, maybe, because that's a little bit chunkier, instead of just like plying up mohair, because that sounds expensive. They do Aran plus lace equals bulky, so maybe I could do the Ariado yarn held with a lace mohair to get that really fuzzy checkerboard look. And then if I was feeling really brave, I could brush it after. Position number 15 on my queue is Triceratops by Claire Garland. Now we're at the portion of the queue where like it's not in any order. I left this little creature on here because my boyfriend likes dinosaurs, or he did when he was a child, and so whenever we see dinosaurs, we like make little jokes about how he loves dinosaurs. But this is like so amazing, and I really kind of just want to make him this little Triceratops. It's like so detailed. I really like it. I've never made anything by this designer, but they have amazing patterns on their page. Position number 16, Rib Lace Raglan by James and Watts. I was not immediately drawn to this pattern, but then I saw someone recently that I follow who, I think they had made one and then they made another one. They were like really fond of this pattern, and I kind of liked the way it looked. I actually really liked the way it looked on their picture. So that's why I put it on here. Possible summer project. I'd probably do the long sleeve version because I'm kind of a long sleeve girly most of the time. I'm just gonna zoom through the last couple because I have not thought about the last couple very much. They're just other things I thought were cute and that I could possibly make this summer. The next one is Umbria Summer Top by Cookie the Knitter. This just looked like a cute top. It uses fingering weight yarn. Okay, the fact that it uses fingering weight yarn, needle size 2.5 and 4, could be the make or break it with this, because I'm not super set on knitting this, and that's a very small needle size. And then number 18 is the lime skirt, which I already talked about. I bought the pattern, so I feel like I should make it, but I'm not super motivated to make it. I'm more motivated to make the orange trousers. And then number 19, I found this free pattern by Pearl Soho, the tulip tank top. I just love how like simple it looks. I love the curling of the neck at the top, and then the overlap. I think it looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of Helmut Lang, so I'd probably make it in white, maybe gray, or maybe like a dark, like a charcoal gray. My camera's gonna die, so I'm trying to speed this up. And then my last pattern in my queue is just this random shawl that I found. It looks really giant, kind of like a blanket shawl. It's fingering weight yarn, and it uses needle size 3, so it's very possible I will not make this, but I just liked how big and simple it was, and it could be like a good thing to start during the summer and then like finish by the time it's cold in like 8 months. That was the whole queue. 20 patterns, and I think I'm feeling very passionate about like 10 of them, and I'm sure you can tell which ones I'm feeling very passionate about. But I did want to mention at least one of the designer inspired things that I want to make. So going back to talking about Rick Owens, I saw someone wearing this Rick Owens dress a couple months ago online. I did not see this person in real life. I've never seen a Rick Owens like fan walking around my city. I wish I had, because I would be like, oh my god, that person's so cool. But there are not like, you know, the Rick Owens people around here, unfortunately. But I saw this person online, and they were wearing the Ziggy dress, and it's like this one shoulder dress. It's super long, it has a slit on the side, and it's knit, and it's all like drop needles and like, you know, destroy looking. It's very cool. And I saw that and I was like, I want to make that dress. It's so cool. I would do some modifications. I wouldn't do the like super long dress that I'm gonna walk all over because I wouldn't want to walk on it by mistake. I also saw that they have a sweater version and a skirt version. So I just love the idea of kind of taking inspiration from this and trying to make my own. Maybe it'll be a top, maybe it'll be like a mini or midi length dress. I really love it and I really want to make one. My camera is flashing at me, it's dying. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me talk about my queue, my knitting goals. Let me know what your knitting goals are, and if you do what I do, you make things because you think the yarn is fun and then you never wear them. And also let me know if your queue has changed from the winter, if you are like a delete it all and start over queue, or if you leave, you know, you leave some of your favorites in the queue and you stick with it, or maybe you stick with it all year. Maybe I should have made a seasonless queue and not a winter queue and then a summer queue. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching.